Hi, my name's Barnaby Donoghue and I work here at Pico Technology, and today I'm going to take you through the guided test for the CAN bus physical layer, which means in plain speak that we're going to use the Picoscope to look at the voltages on the CAN high and the CAN low lines on this vehicle. Today's example is the high-speed powertrain CAN. On the powertrain CAN network you will have an engine control module, the ABS module, instrument cluster and maybe the airbag system as well. Now we might want to look at that if, for example, we've got a loss of functionality, maybe the ABS light is on and your ABS system isn't working, maybe your instrument cluster hasn't got the engine or vehicle speeds registering or coolant temperature. All those types of faults can be caused by CAN problems. So let's run the test. If we go to Picoscope, we can go to the automotive menu. We can click communication networks and CAN L and H, low and high. Now, what we see is Picoscope brings up for you test guidance, and beneath that, we've then got the example waveform on the Picoscope screen itself, which has also been set up with all the presets that you need to capture your waveform. So you don't need to worry about any of that, it's all ready to go. With that connected, the next thing to do is to connect up and run the test. So I've got Picoscope connected via the USB lead, and now I want to connect two channels for this CAN network. So I want to connect CAN low and CAN high. So we connect CAN high to channel A of the Picoscope, and I'll just put that across here for the minute, and we'll need channel B for CAN low. So we've got our two test leads for our two channels. Now if we join the earth fly leads on the two test leads, and we can connect those to good earth. In this case, we've got battery earth right here. Now, next thing I'm going to do is we've put in a breakout lead onto the CAN network here to make access a lot easier. If we add that in, so we're doing CAN low first on channel B and CAN high on channel A. Now, if you're looking at the guided test whilst we're doing this, you'll notice that there is a difference. The guided test assumes that you've got access at the, to a high-speed network or the powertrain network at the diagnostic link connector or the OBD connector under the dashboard. On this type of vehicle, it's a VAG group vehicle and many others, you can't access the high-speed or any other CAN buses through that connector. You've only got access to a CAN controller gateway. So in this case, it's the instrument cluster. So the OBD connects directly to the instrument cluster, which regulates the communication between your diagnostic tester and your other networks and control units within the vehicle. So that's why we've had to control here. We won't get any signals at the diagnostic link connector. If we can now go back to Picoscope itself, as I said, it's all ready to go. So what we want to do is we start the scope. So now it'll be waiting to receive any messages that come along. And because we want to activate the high-speed network, we're going to wake up the vehicle by turning on the ignition. You'll get some communication, then we'll start the engine, we'll get even more communication, and we can capture all that on Picoscope. So it's started and ready to go. Now, we can see here that we've got a nice waveform on the screen, or lots of waveforms going by the screen. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to stop the scope, and now we can stop the vehicle. So when we look at the waveform on the screen, we can see that it's nice and clear with good transitions between the high and low states of the, on both the high and low networks. So you'll see that CAN A is going between 2.5 So CAN high is going between 2.5 and 3.5 volts, so that's on channel A. And then CAN low is going from 2.5 volts down to 1.5 volts, and that's on channel B. So they're both mirroring each other around 2.5 volts. That looks really nice on our screen, all good there. One thing that causes some confusion that we can see at the end of the signal is that you'll notice that the voltage on both CAN high and CAN low exceeds the previous voltages. So on CAN low it's a little bit lower, on CAN high it's a little bit higher. And that's because at this point in the signal, every ECU that has read and understood that message sends a signal back on the network and says, just a very quick 1-bit signal, and says, yes, I've received this message, which is why, because you've got several communicating at one time, that's why the voltages are a little bit higher. We can go back to our guided test, and we can see that we've got, we can compare our waveforms to those that we see in there. We can also, it also describes the waveform library, where we can get further examples. Maybe you want to look at different networks, different vehicles, that type of thing. And beyond that, maybe you want to understand a bit more about what the CAN network actually, how it operates, and more about the messages and what's in them, and other testing scenarios. So that's actually all in the further guidance section of the guided test, which we've put together for you to help you on your CAN bus testing journey. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's presentation and gets you on your way. Thanks for joining us.